Today we're unboxing a brand new controller and it is the PXN-P5 8K. Now that name doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but this thing is very interesting. First of all, it's got an 8K polling rate, but the thing that I'm curious about is that it's the very first controller to ever use capacitive joysticks. And of course, you've probably heard of Hall Effect and TMR. Those are the most kind of used ones right now. But from what I've seen with my test on this controller, this might actually beat them. So it's going to be interesting to play around with. And it's absolutely hilarious to me that suddenly controller technology is just taking off through the roof, because it was always that third-party controllers were the worst controllers, compared to the first party. And of course, you always had to deal with stick drift no matter what. But now controllers are much more accurate and last way, way longer than they used to. And you can buy third-party ones that are cheap and amazing. And this controller supports PC, Android, and iOS. So no support for PlayStation and Xbox, and it's wireless over a dongle or with Bluetooth for direct connection to devices. And it's got a 1000 milliamp internal battery. And you can see what we get in the box here. We've got a controller, a dongle, and a USB Type-C to Type-A cable. Now this controller is fully customizable, but not in the usual way. So you've got a bunch of shortcuts on the controller itself. You can modify things on the go, but you can also download an app on your phone and then connect your controller and customize it that way. There's no PC software, which is very unusual, but certainly might not actually be a bad idea, because you're always going to have your phone with you no matter what. If you're using this controller on different devices, maybe that's actually quite a good setup. And then when it comes to the visual look of this thing, I'm not a huge fan. It feels a little bit cheap. I think it looks a little bit cheap. I really don't like the buttons, and the thumbsticks don't have any kind of texture on them, which I really do like on other controllers. However, the internals of this thing are incredible. So it's a bit of an ugly duckling, I think, in some of its look. And honestly, I can't really put a finger on what it is I don't like, but it's a good controller. It's a weird one. But let's talk about those internals, because this thing's new thumbsticks are exceptional, like off the charts exceptional. I've never seen a controller this accurate, and this is impressive. If, of course, this new tech doesn't have stick drift and stuff like that, then they're onto a massive winner here for sure. Now, here's what the buttons sound like. So overall conclusion is this is an exceptional controller, but it does have problems. First of all, when you charge it up, it has this that lights up to let you know it's charging. When it's fully charged, it switches off. I am so disappointed they're not using those freaking little LED boxes right there to show the charging process at all. It just seems to be that logo that indicates that it is charging and doesn't give you an idea how long it'll be till it's fully charged or how charged it is. So I do feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity. However, something I really like on the back of the controller is the ability to switch between different input modes. So you've got the dongle, the Bluetooth, or Nintendo Switch. And this is a physical button you can actually switch between, which I like. Rather than have it be some sort of combination of buttons you got to press to change modes, you just have a physical button on the back to do it. But overall, this is a very good controller at a good price. However, I do think it has a few issues here and there, but the new tech in this is definitely exceptional. And right now, this is the only controller with it. And purely from an accuracy point of view, this is definitely top tier right now.